So I get asked often, what are these archetypes that you speak of, Belinda? Well, archetypes is actually the formal word or the proper word that is used to describe brand personalities. So the characters that you could align a brand to or tell a story around. Archetypes is the word that was defined by Carl Jung, who was a Swiss psychologist back in Sigmund Freud days. Carl Jung wrote this book and it's called The Collective Unconscious, and it's in that body of work that he describes archetypes. And it's where you have this understanding. He actually went down into his deep unconscious and said that you're actually born with an understanding as to what a mother figure is. You think of caregiver, the nurturing that your mother. You could write a page of descriptors on what that was to mean for you. So the other ones that he defined was the hero, comes and saves the day, a jester, it's all about poking fun, having fun. So understanding these particular characters, they are then used within storytelling. And storytelling actually is then what movies are based on. And so you think about it, all of our popular culture and our movies that we would go see have a hero in them. There's always the bad guy or the rebel, someone who's challenging them. There could be the wise guy perhaps, or the sage, somewhere they go to, the source of information. And so all of these stories are starting to reinforce our understanding that is happening subconsciously for us. And if you think about it, storytelling is not a new thing. It's been around for a very, very long time. Cavemen paint pictures in caves that described processes and helped to teach or document what was going on. Indigenous cultures from all around the world did the same type of thing. It started to define how things were done, what was expected of you as a young boy perhaps within a particular culture. And so these particular characters or these particular stories are things that we then take into what we do in a marketing and a brand context. So what I really love about archetypes and the psychology or the science behind it is that we are combining something that is science-based and we're putting it with something that is very touchy-feeling, i.e. branding and marketing. And so therefore when we do that, we start to get more of a predictable outcome, and we start to then sell and tell stories around what we understand about human behaviour. So we're actually then starting to influence buying behaviour, if you like, and getting people to really have a deeper understanding as to who you are as a brand and what you stand for. And that's why I love archetypes so much. Okay, the first cab off the rank, or the first character I want to introduce you to, is the hero. So the hero, nearly every movie has a hero, nearly every family has a hero. The hero is that guy that comes riding in over the hill and saves the day when you need it most. So I always give the example of a good hero brand is Red Cross. You think when there's a natural disaster on, Red Cross are the first ones there with packs. Their whole business model is around, even using drones to find out where they need to get what in and where and how safe it is. So they're really coming in and saving the day. So a hero. Next one is a sage. So the sage is the wise guy. If you think Star Wars, you're thinking Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, it's the place you go to find the information. So Google is a really obvious global brand that you go to Google to find an answer to something. Very much a sage brand. Then we have the caregiver. So the caregiver is a little bit like Mother Teresa. It's a little bit like your mum. It's someone who's there to take care of you, where it's less about me and more about you. So you think about some of the brands that are caregiver brands. So they're brands like Campbell's Soup. It's nurturing, it's wholesome, it makes you feel good when you're not well. It's also Amnesty International. We advocate for people, and we will stand up and take a stand to help people. But it is coming from that context of, it's not about me or my product or my service, it's about you and how I help you. Caregiver. The ruler. The ruler is all about control, and without control, we don't feel a sense of stability. So ruler brands are generally high value, they cost a lot, but they're generally very innovative. So IBM is a ruler brand. They actually set the rules for that whole industry when they started. Mercedes-Benz is a ruler brand. It's the best car, the latest technology, you expect the best service, and so on. All of that you can own, and there can only really be one industry leader as a ruler brand. Coming totally opposite, the jester. So the jester is all about fun. It's about reminding us that life is to be lived. I always like to give the example of M&Ms. You see them, they're little characters, they come to life, they're poking fun at each other. Nothing is, ever a problem. Life should be lived. Life is about fun. And we enjoy actually consuming Just brands. Then we've got the innocent. The innocent is very much like Disney is an innocent brand. You know that no matter what Disney movie you were to sit down and watch or put your kids in front of, the story is going to be wholesome, it's going to be pure good, and there's not going to be anything scary in there. It's generally a lot of simplicity that's wrapped up in an innocent brand. So if you think of Dove soap, it's pure, it's white, and it's for everyone. Simple. The rebel. The rebel is probably the strongest of all of the archetypes in that they say, you know what, something is outdated. It might be something in your industry is outdated, and we've had enough of that, and therefore we want to change. We want to challenge convention. So Apple did that against IBM and Microsoft in those early days. They said computers shouldn't be boring beige boxes. They could be colourful. We could consume music with white earbuds. Everything that they did was very, very different and got us to think about, well, why are we even doing it that way? So they challenged us. Even the whole store experience now is still very much a rebel brand. Oh, the lover. The lover is probably the archetype that has the most emotive impact for all of us as a brand to align to. So the lover gets us to think about the feeling, the sound, the smell, the taste. This is where you tap into more of the senses. So if you think about a car brand that's a lover brand, it's very much Alfa Romeo. It's not a car, it's an Alfa Romeo. They show pictures of passion for driving, of people having a love affair with an Italian car. Smell the leather, hear the sound. It's very emotive, and they sell quite well under a lover brand. Then we've got the regular guy girl. The regular guy girl is something that is for everyone. And maybe it's something that's unobtainable, but yet we've now made it so it can be accessible for everyone. And so a really great example of a regular guy girl brand is IKEA, where it's designer furniture, but they've made it in a way, and the flat pack is the method, to make it accessible for you, for me, for everyone. Then we come down to the explorer. So the explorer is all about self-discovery, or that I'm on a journey. And how does your product or your service help me on that journey that I might be on? Can you relate to me in that way? So Jeep do that really well. Jeep is the vehicle that they never talk about many of the features or benefits of the vehicle. They always talk about where does it allow you to go. And if you see the ads, it's always the vehicle is somewhere high in a mountain, driving through the bush or a creek. It's about the destination. It's about where it can enable you to go. And that's very much what Explorer archetype gets you to think about. Then we have the creator. So the creator is about, if you can think of something, then a creator brand will be able to find a way to create or make that happen. So a simple example is Lego. So Lego is a creator brand in that I could give you 10 blocks of Lego and I could have 10 blocks of Lego, and we would both create something, but they'd be very different, but they'd be reflective of what we were wanting to build or what our inspiration was. And that's what a creator brand enables you to do, is to think about, well, how does this apply for me? Another example of a creator brand is Dyson. So he thought about a different way that you could dry your hands now, and he created them that way, and now they're in airports all around the world. So if you think about it differently, and you think about what's a possibility, and then you create it. And that's very much what a creator brand is. And then finally, the last one is wizard. And we use the word wizard as opposed to magician, because a wizard has the ability from within, and it's all about transformation. So how does your product or service take me from what I am today and transform me to become something at the end? We don't talk much about what goes on in between. We talk about the before and then the after. So a really good example that I love to give for a wizard brand is Lynx. The deodorant, has the geeky guy and he puts it on. So he's the geeky guy before, he puts on the product, and then he becomes this irresistible man that women are running after. It happens almost by magic, and that's the beauty of a wizard brand, is that there's something that just goes on, you don't know what it is. It happens, and it's just a beautiful thing. Well, that's the archetypes. So I don't know what you're waiting for. If you're like me, you just want to know what archetype you are, and you'd want to start using this thinking and this methodology tomorrow to start marketing your business, to start employing the right people, and start attracting the right customers, so that you're no longer competing on price and you actually stand for something and you own your market. Get in touch, we'd love to help.